Hello everyone, Klaus here, and today guys I'm gonna review one of my mugs from the Project S, so the project that consists in remaking all the 12 slicer set into a more modern actual canister sized mug in fact. And well, we were two on the project, me and my friend Shadow, and well, we decided to split up all the 12 slicers in half. So this means I had to review I had to make six slicers, and Shadow makes the six others slicers. And today I'm gonna do one of my mugs, so one of the slicers I made, so not one of Shadow's, and it's gonna be Jungle, or Amazon also in English. In the US, excuse me. And as you can, how to begin? So yes, also I said earlier in my review that I will review the guys in the construction order, in the order we build them. But well, I just made a little difference here because first of all I built Judge, not this guy, but I think Judge deserves to be the last guy I review in the size in the canister size set. So by the way, here's Jungle, the same color scheme as the first Jungle, so this means using teal green and Mata green, so nothing really new. Also some shade of black used for the antennas and the weapon, because yes, I did some weapons on this guy. So I'm going to do a turn around really quickly because it's quite a complicated mug to explain. As you can see, it's really bulky. Also, it's sometimes really fall off easily. Again, kind of like Spark. In fact, if you have already seen my review of Spark, just say that Jungle is quite the same type. It's really bulky, big blocky parts, which prevents some articulation movement and stuff like that. So it's quite a problem. So yes, I think I will do the turnaround later on because construction is most important. So I'm gonna put off the backpack because yes, I really want it for this guy because Jungle was one of the first guy I reinvented from the slicer set. So I really have this idea of a big backpack already in my mind. I got this idea really quickly before beginning the construction. Excuse me, I'm gonna put off the two weapons, then I'm gonna put off the two legs, and I think this will be all. I'm gonna begin to talk about the legs, and then of course I will describe all the body works and stuff like that. But first of all, the legs. So the legs are the first element of this mug I made. They are all custom made. So as you can see, if I put off these two parts, this means the double connector is a custom one. So this means using two connectors and then linking them thanks to these little parts right there. Then to cover, of course, all the empty space, I will put on this front section, if I can call this front, this part, which is of course a T-shaped part plus slicer shoulder part, yes, piece. So as you can see, with a ball joint to really make it all strong. Excuse me. Link that to the axle of 2, and then using a classic holder foot plus this little part with one axle hole and one pin hole, of course using the axle hole on this axle right there. And here we go for this upper part of the legs. Then comes the lower part of the leg. Excuse me. So of course here I put a ball joint. Then on this ball joint I really construct the frame is really made around this slicer arm. You can see with the two ball joints. So of course one of the ball joints will be used to link the foot, which is a classic holder foot you can find in the Tawakawa set. And also notice that all other ball joints will be used to have some kind of a thruster on the back of his legs. So used of the thruster part of course is from the Tawakawa tweed parts. You can see right there, nothing very new, so of course you can turn, but we can talk about the articulation later on. And of course, to link this part to the ball joint, I use tons of little parts like this, you can see right there, and this part on this side, which really have a nice curve, and it's really nice for the overall design and also the design of the leg, I have to say. but it's not finished because then, of course, I have to color this all green part with some teal colors, with some teal part, and then I used this teal shape part plus technique panels. Link this on the axle on the side. And here we go, you got your legs done. So, well, of course, it's really thin on this section and really large on this section, but well, it's wide, not large, it's wide. And thin, so it kind of look special, but I kind of like it. I can like it, so let's turn around. Hope you have understand because I talk quite fast, I have to say, but I think there is nothing really to understand apart from the fact that I used really some custom parts for the legs and for the double connectors. That's it. And of course, the two legs are quite the same, so. Well, they are exactly the same, not quite the same, they are exactly the same. And now for the body section part, which is of course well, quite important. So you can see you have the skirt right here. I'm going to put off the skirt and talk about it later on. So this means putting off the waxy foot and this part. Excuse me. And I think then we can talk. So in fact, I'm just going to explain how I linked, in fact, my waist part and the body part. So this means the waist part is a custom one, so this means I didn't really use the vacuum one or metro one. I just, in fact, use a simple axle with two T-shape parts, and which will be useful to link this waxy foot. And so I just use this part. On here you will have the ball joint, which will be linked right here, and then put this little part, which are just what you need when you need, for example, to make a body with an all that torso frame, in fact. And I already use this type of technique build in my building technique is me on my Spark mod. And then use another axle, and here you go, you have your waist part. And now I'm going to put off some other parts to explain you how this body frame works. So just look at this, and then I'm going to put this off. So you have your, of course, as I said earlier, it's an older torso frame, so this means it's the body frame from the old to older. So only think of interest, maybe, yes, so there's technical parts which I talk about later on, so just notice they are here, linked really easily thanks to these little parts. Also notice that, well, this part is just to cover the hole, in fact, for some greens and not just some black or some holes. Then also notice really this part is important. It's an axle of 3, which will be important to like the upper part of the body frame. And then if we look on the back, we have this part which is linked through a part. As you can see, there is an axle hole right there and on the other side, so you might recognize this part. It's used as a neck on the old to older. Old to older, of course, from 2001. And so I link then a new slicer fit, so from 2007, which was used, for example, with Takadox. Then a connector, which is just useful to add some black and to cover the holes. And then on this slicer foot, modified slicer foot, I link these two pneumatic parts, like Shadow did in the City Mock. But this time it will be useful to have a V-shaped form on the back, of course, and also to link the other part of the body frame, which we're going to see right now, in fact. And the other part of the body is made thanks to these two, well, one here, one on the back, these two triangle shape part, well, I call this eight shape part or triangle shape part, it's up to you. This part will be useful, first of all, to link two Baroque arms, which will be useful for the ball joints, for the arms, of course, to link the arms, so a ball joint for arms. Also to link the neck part of this connector right here, which will be linked to the head. The head is really simple because it's just an Ordica neck plus the slicer head, so nothing really new right here. Also notice that this axle right there, which is useful to link a T-shape part, So this means we're going to have an axle hole, which of course goes directly into this axle. And if you look on the back, you have a connector again to cover the space with some greens, and also some axle, as you can clearly see, which goes out of the part, if I can say so. And that's quite all for this part. Of course, I will talk about the arms later on. So I think we're going to link these two parts together. So first of all, I'm going to link this axle into this axle hole. Okay? Then I'm going to look on the back. You have got these two parts, so I'm going to put this pinhole into these little axles right here. Also notice that I've got one hole right here, and still one hole left on the H-shaped part. So that means I'm going to do this, put down the upper part, and then put this gear plus an axle, as you can see. So this is the gear from the original slicer set. And then, of course, I've got some axle hole free. And here we go. Excuse me if you haven't seen that, but well, I just linked the axle hole and axles together, and now this part prevents the suspension from falling off, and also help to have the body hold well. And now for the front section, because of course it's quite empty, we're gonna link, or at least I'm gonna link a baroque foot plus a waxy head right here. So, well, of course it can fall off, but on this axle hole. And then two other waxy's head. So, excuse me, but I used some budget from 2001, and this means they keep on falling off. So, if these two parts fall off, well, excuse me. Because it's quite annoying, or at least it's really annoying me much. Here we go. And finally, this part will be linked like that. But there is still one remaining part from the body. It's of course the skirt part. So I'm just gonna talk about how the skirts work, because it's quite complex. Well, at least more complex than, for example, on my Turiak Jmok, which was one of my warlords. So I used a baroque arm in green, then two connectors on the side, and then on this connector I linked on the front section this system part, which can be found in the Tarakawa set, and on the side I just linked one of them. Notice this little pin right there, which will be useful to link the pin into this, this pin hole. So this means doing, oh yeah, excuse me, I choose the wrong side. And the same goes for the other one. Okay. Again, it's a version from 2001, so. And well, the skirt is finally done, is nearly done, because I just have to add this waxy foot, which will be linked through this two T-shaped part and this axle all right there. So here we go, it's done. And that's really one of the things I wanted first when I imagine this model in my mind, because I really wanted to have this type of skirt, a big one, kind of like the well, your otherwise military man, which got like kind of a belt with different type of little packs and stuff like that, his ammo, for example, and stuff like that. So I really want something really bulky on the skirt, and well, that's quite worked. And then finally, I just put these two panels on this side. At first, they were kind of like that, but it kind of prevents the movement of the arm, I guess. So, well, I tried to just put them down right here. And we are nearly done, so maybe first of... Oh no, yes, I have the arms to talk about, excuse me. So the arms are custom made. I'm gonna explain how they work. Okay, so first of all, I got, of course, a connector. Then I'm gonna link, well, I'm gonna link excuse me, I'm gonna link later on this another connector, well, this part first. As you can see, two parts linked together with some pins, nothing really complicated. So I'm gonna do that in this way, and then, as you can see, here's the other connector I look for, put this right there. And in fact, I'm gonna link all these three parts together thanks to these two little, one side is a pin, the other side is an axle, which are linked to an slicer body frame, which is from Jungle, of course, and Mactoran foot from Congo. And I'm gonna link, so I got two axle all, and here we go, it's worked quite perfectly. And finally, I'm gonna just add some other foot on the side, on the front at least. Like that. And now I'm going to talk about this part of the arm. So this one was not really made by me, or at least I searched for this one, but then Shadow tried to help me because it was kind of late, and I started building like some hours ago and still not finished. So he gave me a hand for this arm. So he used a budget from 2006, then link this body frame, as you can see there, then finally glider neck plus the hand, which is a classical one, so this means using a slicer foot plus a connector. You have already seen that in all of my precedent slicer mock. And finally, link this waxy foot, as you can see with some different type of parts, on this section. So I'm gonna put this axle into this axle all of the body frame. And here we go, it's done. So now we are finally done with all the main parts. I'm gonna put back on the legs, and I'm gonna talk about the articulation. And then I will, or well, maybe I can talk about the, yes, all the parts are made, and then talk about the articulation with just the body without the backpack or the weapon. So, excuse me. So, first of all, the backpack, so it's made, so I'm going to explain this really quickly. So, I just choose, well, it was again made with Shadow, so in cooperation with him. So, we have the idea that, well, the two of us work on this backpack. So, I used, or we used, two Borak body frame on the side because they have kind of a curved shape, so it's not all blocky and it's quite nice. On the side, I used some technique beam to have some interesting design element. I think it will look cool, and also use some teal green colors because I didn't really have that much of teal green parts, in fact, or at least at this point of the building I already used all of them, or at least most of them. Then we put on waxy back right here to have still the curved, the overall curved design, yes. Again, some elastic to make it odd, and also not, I choose to put a little thruster in there, so it just fits perfectly with the waxy back. And the thruster, also some gear from the original slicer set. And I'm not going to talk about what is inside, but it's a different type of bricks, some technique beams to link them, to link all of this part together. On this side, notice the little antenna, which I think I will put, I will revamp to put right here, I think. So it can be seen clear in a more easy way because you can't really see the antenna in some angle view. And then the throwing disc arm, as you can see, with ton of little parts, which was made by Shadow. So this means this part we can put in some antenna form. You can also put this down, or you can also For example, just let me because yes, it's quite, yes, you can do this type of stuff and then do something like that and just change in fact the arm, and then you can throw the disc like this. Well, if it's blocked. But for the review, I'm gonna let it in this position. Excuse me, yes, like this. So now we are done with the, yes, also these little parts to fill the void, so little details right here with the use of this slicer shoulder part, and then this axle all right here with this part, which will be also of course to link it to the back of the slicer itself. And then you have the revamp of the katana, so because the first one got a katana, so we decided to remake one, but it was quite hard because well, it's just quite hard to make something simple with technique bricks, in fact, and all the weapons in Bionicle are quite detailed, so it was up to us to make this weapon. So Shadow has the idea to just use some normal technique beams and then add this little block eyes on the side. And well, on the side it looks pretty nice because it's quite wide and then is thinner. But of course on the front it doesn't really look. It changed in fact. So it's look pretty nice on the side. And then you have also this part, I don't have the name in English, but it's the part just before the hand and the sword itself, or the blade, excuse me. And well, it's made with simple bricks and it's quite blocky, but also the first katana was quite blocky on this side, so we try to do the same stuff, but of course with big parts it doesn't really look that nice in fact. And also I wanted to have a little weapon, a little gun, so Shadow made one, and here how it looks. I would really, maybe I would have done this one a little blockier, maybe yes, more blocky, but well, it's look quite good like that, so I'm gonna change this. And Shadow did quite a good work with the gun and also the katana. Even in the katana, he done a first version and I done a second version, and then he just changed this part in fact. So again, it's something we made, the two of us made. And then I'm going to talk about the articulations, guys. So the legs first. So because of the skirt which can move, in fact, there is no big problem for the legs. So this means I can put this part up without any big problem, as you can see. Of course, yeah, it will kind of block on this part, but apart from that, no big problem. Then if you turn this, it's blocked at this point, so you have kind of to force a little and then just go under the other foot. Yes, and it's like 90 degrees, so nothing really new. And of course, the foot has no problem to move. Also, this little ball joint if you want to move up or down this little thruster on the legs. Then you have the skirt with one rotation point and two ball joints. Yes, also this part with some rotation point, but nothing really interesting. And then you have the arm with no problem on the shoulder, and which block at 90 degrees on the elbow section. Also, the hands are quite problematic because of this little axle, which is in this way and not in a straight line. So it's quite hard to manipulate the hand, I have to admit. But well, we couldn't put some glitter on neck. In fact, it can be put in a good way. In fact, so well. And also the head, which can look up, down, on the side without any big problems. And well, that's quite all, I think. So now I'm gonna, well, that's quite all, and of course this part just fell off, yeah, that's cool, I'm used to. So now, yes, now I'm gonna put the back parts and the weapons. So maybe first of all the weapons, which can be put on the side of the back arms right here. So the same goes for the gun. We don't really hold that well, but still managed to. Oh well, it worked pretty nice. Yes, pretty well. Yes, well it worked pretty nice, except when you put the backpack. In fact, because well, we're gonna put this axle all into this axle, and so here what it looks like in the back with the weapon and the backpack. And I think we're done. So yes, it was just to show you excuse me. First of all, I'm going to do the turnaround of the completed model, so with all its gears, weapons, backpack, and stuff like that. Then I will do a little pose with just the katana, and I will try to make a pose because it's really a heavy guy and it's really tend to fall off easily. So yes, quite like that. Yes, that's true. So yes, I'll just put off this part. I'm gonna try to make the same pose as I made in my French version of this review because it was quite a good pose, I thought, for this mock. So okay. Calm down. I will just take a little time to make this guy stand, and we'll be done, guys. So the review will be soon over. Well, I think it's okay. It's look pretty good with his big sword and stuff like that. Even if I'm not really a fan of ultra long swords, obviously, but well. Yeah, I'm gonna make him look like he don't care about the guys which look at him. Yeah, but you can see the neck, so it's quite not really a good pose. But yeah, by the way, I'm gonna end this right now. So yes, so what did I think about this mouse? So see, again, he's got like the same problem as parts. This means it's an heavy, bulky guy with big parts. So the articulation range is really a movement range is quite a big problem because it's limited at 20 degrees. And even with that, it would still sometimes keep falling off because of all the weight he's got on all the upper part and his backpack. So this means the legs cannot really hold all the weight of the upper section that goes. So again, it's quite a problem because it could have been really cool, but well, there's still there's big problems for the articulation and stuff like that, which is really cool. It's really a really bulky guy, and that's not maybe the best idea when you're in jungle to be all bulky and stuff like that. So of course he's got a large katana, so I think he can cut some trees. But well, but again, the overall thing is pretty good. I'm still a big fan of the skirt I made because it was really close to my first idea, and it's really looked good at the end, or at least I think it looked good. The same goes for the arms or the upper part of the body. The backpack also, I'm really a fan of this one. So again, the overall thing is pretty nice, and also it was quite hard to make with these two type of colors because the teal green is not a color you can find in every set released. Well, you can just find this color into like 2 or 3 sets in the Slicer Bionicle set, if I accept some technique sets. And well, but again, it's really for me, it's really a shame that the articulation are not really that good, or so it's really hard to make pause without him falling off. So yeah. But again, tell me what you think about this mock. If you have any question or comment about the mock itself, feel free to ask them or post your comment into the comment section of this video, and I will happily answer them. And that will be all. So give me your opinion or your ideas about this mock, and well, hope you enjoyed, and see you later for another Bionicle review. Bye bye.